You just eat like an hour or two ago and you're still fucking hungry and you can't make sense of it. What types of foods did you eat? And maybe this is actually leptin resistancy, and how does one beat that? Let's break this down. My name is Chanel. I run The Rewrite. I used to look like this. I have a whole foods diet after weight loss surgery, which is hella controversial. I don't want shit like leptin resistancy anymore. I don't want to be insulin resistant as well. And the two tend to come hand in hand. So what is leptin resistancy? Leptin, first off, is a hormone. Anyone who's had weight loss surgery has heard of the ghrelin hormone. It's that stomach growling hormone. Essentially, it's when the body is like, hey, we're hungry, the thing's empty, fill it. But I think the most important hormone to talk about after weight loss surgery is leptin. If you read any books about obesity, you're going to learn real quickly what this is. It's a hormone that's stored in the adipose tissues of the fat. It signals up to the brain to tell the stomach we're full. Most people who have insulin resistancy also have leptin resistancy. You can test for it. The thing is, there's not really anything a doctor can do to help you with this. There's not an injection, there's not a supplement. It's really a lifestyle change, which is what I bark a lot about after weight loss surgery and doing. You have the surgery and these hormones are kind of reset to some degree. So let's break down what those lifestyle changes need to look like in order to beat leptin resistancy. Number one and most important thing here is going to be having a whole foods diet. Why? First, we want to address inflammation. Inflammation plays a huge role in leptin resistancy, most importantly in the hypothalamus, right up here. We want to reduce inflammation there. So we need to focus on foods that are anti-inflammatory. And guess what? Fuel to the fire to this problem is going to be those fucking protein shakes. But I'm talking about the person who's further out enough that they can eat real food. So you girl who just had surgery, ignore this part. The second thing we want to do is improve our insulin sensitivity. But we really want to limit the types of foods we eat that would spike our sugar. You guys know the obvious ones. I'm not going to tell you those. But let's talk about maltodextrin again, which is in a lot of protein products and bariatric foods. Maltodextrin actually scores higher on the GI index than glucose itself. Because it's a complex carb under a microscope prior to going into your digestive system, it doesn't have to be listed as a sugar on the actual nutrition label. So this is why it's a hard no for me to eat maltodextrin. Another way to improve your insulin sensitivity is having a high protein diet with real food. We also want to manage our stress, being more mindful, practicing meditation, yoga, any sort of stress relieving activity. There are so many tools in my kit that I use for this as a recovering addict. Don't like going to bed at night stressing about stuff because then I don't sleep good, right? And one of the things I find a lot of my clients stress about when they first come here is about regaining their weight. We need to find a way to not worry about that. So how about eating the right foods? Poor sleep disrupts leptin and the ghrelin hormone. That makes it harder for the brain to regulate when we should be eating. So having a consistent sleep schedule, getting 8 hours, limiting your screen time before bed, and creating a great sleep environment. Another one is going to be incorporating exercise. Strength training and high intense interval training are excellent. But you can also do some low intense activities like yoga, which is also going to help with stress. Now, this is part where the surgery comes into play, because once you start losing body fat, that immediately starts to help those who have leptin resistancy. I want to circle back to prioritizing a whole foods diet. Don't give your body stuff that it doesn't know how to process. Just because the label says it's high in fiber or full of vitamins, or you saw someone else on TikTok who's eating it, doesn't necessarily mean it's a great choice for you if you have leptin resistancy. If you're unsure if you have leptin resistancy in the first place, chances are you do if you had weight loss surgery. Leptin resistancy is a common feature among anybody who's overweight. So chances are you have leptin resistancy, and even if you had surgery, you may still have it depending on the types of foods you're consuming. One way that I can tell that things are not operating correctly is if I eat and then 90 minutes later I'm hungry again. I evaluate that type of food I had. It usually had artificial sweeteners in it. Usually was ultra processed. It might have had maltodextrin in it. It may have had added fructose in it. Like, it just wasn't something I could consume at home. And that I know that my brain did not process what I ate correctly. It is not a chenille problem. It is not a fucking I can only have one bite problem. It's the way my body metabolizes food. That's the fucking problem. And it's something I cannot change. I can eat whole foods and have the clarity and the health and feel good about my life. Or I can eat a bunch of bullshit and go to bed every night wondering when I'm going to start regaining my weight, stress out, and then eat because I'm stressed, talk myself out of working out because I feel like shit and I'm a fucking failure. Like, there's just so many benefits from transitioning to a whole foods diet, guys, that I encourage you to do it. We are doing a free workshop this Saturday at 12 p.m. PST where we're going to look at food logs and teach you how to transition to whole foods diet. So come and join us. The link's in the bio to register.